Somewhere beneath centuries of sediment, sunken coastlines, and fractured oral traditions lies a version of history we were never taught. Not because it wasn't important, but because it was lost. Imagine this. Humanity once thrived in ways modern textbooks cannot explain. Ancient structures built before the first cities, stories of massive floods found in every culture, technologies and astronomical knowledge emerging far earlier than expected. This is the mystery of the Great Forgetting, a vast undocumented span in human history where civilizations may have risen, wisdom may have flourished, and much of it vanished without a trace. The Great Forgetting is not an officially recognized historical epic. It does not appear on any academic timeline or among the traditional ages of history. Yet, the concept holds significant weight in fields such as alternative history, post-collapse theory, philosophical anthropology, and speculative archaeology. At its core, the term refers to a profound rupture in humanity's collective memory, a loss so substantial that it shaped the course of civilization, altered belief systems, and redefined our understanding of ourselves. This phenomenon manifests in several key ways. First, there is a massive gap in human historical records. Long before the emergence of written language around 3000 BCE, humans had already lived for tens of thousands of years. During that time, it is entirely possible that complex societies, rich oral traditions, and even advanced knowledge systems flourished and then vanished without a trace, simply because they were never documented. Second, the Great Forgetting may represent the actual loss of entire civilizations, especially those that were vulnerable to cataclysmic events, wars, or climate upheavals. Submerged coastlines and shifting tectonics may have erased all physical evidence, while the delicate nature of oral culture allowed the memory of these societies to fade across generations. Finally, it may represent a deeper amnesia, one where humanity has forgotten essential aspects of its original identity, whether spiritual, ecological, or technological. Some scholars suggest this forgetting was a natural consequence of societal evolution, while others argue it was deliberate, influenced by religious, colonial, or political forces that selectively preserved certain histories while erasing others. The lost coastlines of civilization. During the last ice age, approximately 20,000 years ago, global sea levels were over 100 meters lower than they are today. As the ice began to melt around 11,000 years ago, rising waters submerged coastlines across the planet. If, as we see in modern times, early humans preferred to settle near bodies of water, it is likely that countless ancient settlements now lie beneath the ocean, hidden, forgotten, and beyond easy reach. Several submerged regions offer tantalizing clues to this lost chapter of human history. Sundaland, once a vast landmass in Southeast Asia, may have supported early complex societies before it was swallowed by the sea. Doggerland, which connected Britain to mainland Europe, now lies beneath the North Sea, but once hosted thriving Mesolithic communities Beringia, the land bridge that once linked Siberia and Alaska, not only enabled early human migration, but may have also served as a significant cultural crossroads. Today, underwater archaeology is just beginning to uncover the ruins and remnants that could dramatically reshape our understanding of humanity's ancient past. Evidence that shouldn't exist, but does. Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey, dating back to around 9600 BCE, predates Stonehenge by roughly 6,000 years and challenges long-held assumptions about prehistoric societies. Built by pre-agricultural people using massive, intricately carved stones, the site reveals a surprising level of symbolic and social complexity in an era traditionally labeled as primitive. Similarly enigmatic is Baalbek in Lebanon, home to the largest known megalithic stones in the ancient world, some weighing over 1,000 tons. The methods by which these stones were quarried, transported, and precisely positioned remain a mystery to this day. Then there is Pumapunku in Bolivia, where precision-cut stones and interlocking blocks display an advanced level of craftsmanship that rivals modern engineering. Taken together, these sites raise a provocative question. Were ancient humans far more advanced, far earlier than we've been led to believe? Libraries burned, languages lost. Sometimes forgetting doesn't require the passage of 10,000 years. It only takes fire, ideology, and the shifting tides of power. The Library of Alexandria in Egypt, once the greatest repository of ancient knowledge with hundreds of thousands of scrolls, was destroyed through a series of fires and invasions, erasing untold volumes of human thought and history. In India, the great University of Nalanda met a similar fate when it was burned by invaders, wiping out centuries of accumulated Buddhist, scientific, and philosophical learning. During the age of colonial conquest, entire oral traditions, especially among indigenous peoples in Africa, the Americas, and Australia, were dismissed, suppressed, or lost entirely as colonizers imposed new languages and belief systems. Even in literate societies, it was often politics and religion, not truth or merit, that determined what knowledge was preserved and what was condemned to oblivion. The global flood myths. Nearly every ancient culture carries a myth of a great flood, often involving divine wrath, survival, and the rebirth of humanity. The story of Noah in the Bible, Utnapishtim in the Epic of Gilgamesh, Manu in Hindu tradition, and Deucalion in Greek mythology all follow strikingly similar patterns. Heroes warned of a coming deluge, building vessels to preserve life, and surviving a global catastrophe. These shared narratives may not be mere coincidence. Some researchers propose that they are cultural echoes of a real event, possibly tied to the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, a theory suggesting that a comet or cosmic impact around 12,800 years ago triggered abrupt climate change, massive flooding, and global upheaval. If true, these myths could be fragmented memories passed down through generations, preserving the faint memory of a disaster that may have reset the course of civilization. Forgetting too soon? Forgetting can happen gradually over millennia or in the blink of an eye. In many cases, entire bodies of knowledge vanished when oral traditions died with the last generation who remembered them. Some civilizations developed writing systems, like the undeciphered script of the Indus Valley, but without the key to interpretation, their stories remained silent. Countless languages have disappeared, taking with them unique worldviews, philosophies, and understandings of nature. Cultural erasure through war, colonization, and religious conquest further deepened the loss, often replacing indigenous knowledge with dominant narratives. Natural disasters and climate shifts also played a role, disrupting population centers and severing the transmission of information. In the end, the simple truth remains: what wasn't recorded was erased. Memory as mystery. History is often described as a record of what happened, but that's not quite true. History is a record of what survived. The Great Forgetting challenges the modern world to consider that our past is deeper, more complex, and more mysterious than we realize. There may have been lost chapters of civilization, technologies, philosophies, and stories that we have no record of, just stone, myth, and mystery. And so we ask, what if the greatest truths of our past are the ones we forgot? We are not just shaped by what we remember, but by what we've forgotten. The question isn't whether something was lost, but how much. As always, live life with a GOS in it. Until next time.